What's up, everyone? Beast Mode back with another match review. So this is round 4 of RBET Rulers or Edison Worlds. I am playing against Xeris. A lot of you might know him. He actually beat me in top 8 of RBET 2. That was like my first tournament. I was playing Quick Draw. He was playing Zombies. He ended up winning the whole event with Zombies. He kind of really, I know others have topped before him, other smaller events, but he kind of really put like Zombies on the map. His build is pretty unique. He plays like Raikou and Chaos Sorcerer. He pretty much won the tournament, and we haven't seen him till Worlds, so he's kind of doesn't play a lot online, but he is a very good zombie player. Probably often gets overlooked because he doesn't play a lot online, but he's undefeated at Worlds right now, and we're gonna have a zombie mirror match. So I know I haven't started streaming yet. I'm really trying to get. I need to get my second monitor situated and the cam and the mic. I just haven't had enough time. I'm still trying to make videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays just to keep everybody engaged. So that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. So let's get into the match review here. I don't really remember this match. I honestly haven't really reviewed the Worlds games. I kind of was done after this tournament. You know, it was the end of the season, and definitely had taking a break after this. I was kind of playing a little bit of GOAT, so but definitely back on the Edison grind now because there's a tournament coming up beginning of February. Probably going to be, I would say, at least well over 100 players, I would guess. It's online, the Deck Devastators 3 tournament, so we're planning, and they're giving the World's invites out for top 4, top 8, depending on how many players are there, so definitely look into that, the Edison format Discord, if you're not already in there. So let's see here. He goes first, which is very good. Obviously, Edison format, pretty much any format, it's always good to go first. Sets 1, T set. So my hand's actually pretty good here. You know, we could set Goblin Zombie, Dust Tornado. We could summon Goblin Zombie and just attack. And then we get Dust Shooted. So this card right here, if I had a choice, I'd probably just ban it because it's not even the fact that he's sending back the Goblin Zombie. It's the fact that he knows everything in my hand. First turn Dust Shoot, it's one of those things like if you have to have that hand that ends up countering what they have, or you have to kind of play in an erratic way where they just don't know what you're setting. They're trying to make reads, you know. Maybe you don't set a Dust Tornado, you set a Book of Life or something, just to kind of play, you know, probably not proper Yu-Gi-Oh, but you're just kind of playing in a way because you're already down. They know every card you have. You know, if you just set Dust Tornado, they're just going to play around it. If you set, so you kind of, well, that's what I do anyway. I kind of play a little erratic and try to make unsensible plays more or less so they can't make a read. You know, I'm not sure. There's really no great way of playing once they know every card you have. So obviously Dust Shoot here is devastating. Send back the Goblin Zombie, knows every card I have. At this point, you know, my hand is not very good at all now. You know, I have a Zombie Master, Book of Life play, maybe with a Diva and Call. So that's kind of my thought now. We get Zombie Master in the graveyard. Maybe we can make some synchro plays and steal this game at some point. So, yeah, we're just going to summon Zombie Master and attack here. Maybe it's a Raikou. That'll be fine. It's a Goblin Zombie. But if you don't attack that Goblin Zombie here, and if I just set a Dust Tornado, he knows what I'm playing. He can Caius it. You know, that if I leave Goblin Zombie on the board and I set any of these, he just Caiuses and I lose it anyway. So, he searches Zombie Master. So I'm guessing he probably has a pitch in his hand. We set the call here because, of course, he's not going to give me anything good to dust. I'm hoping that he maybe reads this as a Dust Tornado and not the call. Not that I can really use it anyway, but if, you know, like I said, if this thing ends up in the graveyard, I can summon Diva and maybe do a double 6 play with the Book of Life. That's really the only plan I have at this point. So we'll see. So he's obviously at a significant advantage already. That's going to happen. You know, you got to deal with Dust Shoot. It's, you know, I draw Dust Shoot all the same. You know, it's won me many games. So, you know, got to win by it, lose by it, kind of. So at this point, I could summon Sangan here, or I could summon the Diva. Summoning Diva here with Zombie Master and maybe doing the double synchro play, you know, where are we going to get with that? If I bring out Rio, discard a card, bounce this back to the hand, I'm running the risk into attacking into Gores. I can't make Hades with this with a Diva, so that, you know, if this was a Plague, sure, that would be better. I just don't feel it's worth doing this whole big combo using Call, using Diva, Book of Life to make 2 synchros, just to bounce this back to their hand and maybe attack with a Brio and a Gores. I mean, a Brio and a Goyo. And does he have Gores? Yeah, he has Gores. So this is why you don't do that, right? Just because you can synchro doesn't mean that you should be synchroing, because I would just lose the game if I make that play. Because, like I said, if I make Brio and Goyo here, I use 1, 2, 3 cards to do it. The call would be, yeah, these 3 cards, and I end up with a Brio and a Goyo on the board. And sure, he could take both attacks and drop Gores and a 2800 token. He knows every card I have except the Sangan. So how do I play around that? Follow up. Like, he's got Zombie Master, Gores, Mizuki, and a Brain Control. So yeah, I just would lose right then. So I'm guessing we just either attack. Yep, we just attack. It's a Spirit Reaper, so we're not doing anything anyway. We set Sangan, so now now this gives us a double Diva play and a Sangan search. So this is pretty good now. Maybe we can get this to go off. So you just summon Sangan here and crashes. So here I could have grabbed like Plague Spreader or something, maybe Plague Spreader, and pitch Plague to take to grab Plague and run over the Sangan to make like a Hades. You never want to pitch Plague to bring out Golem and Zombie and then Book of Life my own Plague. That doesn't seem very good. I also grabbed Gale because I can out the Spirit Reaper with it. So I think I could have searched something different with the, I could have possibly searched Plague and maybe did a Zombie Master play, but again, that only outs the Sangan, and I still can't out the Reaper. So, that's something I could have done differently here. So, that's redundant. Heavy Storm, Dust. He's not giving me anything to Dust Tornado. So I have a decision to make here. I definitely can make some plays, but it still doesn't win me the game, and it runs into the same Gore situation if I decide to drop all these cards and try to make a few synchros. I think the play here is maybe just summon Gale, kill the Reaper, and unfortunately I'm going to give him a Sangan search, but I feel like this isn't a terrible play. Again, I don't typically synchro a lot with this deck until I know I can really go for game. I play very slow, so again, I could have maybe done this could have been Plague, and I could have pitched for Plague, made Hades, and attacked this. But again, Hades here, so I deny him the Sangan search. He can Brain Control. I still can't out the Reaper, and he knows I still have Diva, Book of Life. He knows the Dust Tornado, and he knows the Call. I could have also called the Plague or Book of Life the Plague and made a Dark End Dragon main phase 2 over the Hades and killed the Reaper that way. But again, we got a Brain Control and a Gore's play here for him. And if my Plague is in the graveyard, I know he searched Zombie Master, so I am forced to actually stack for Plague, because if I leave Plague in the graveyard, he's going to summon Zombie Master, pitch Mizuki, and he can make Doom Kaiser and a Doom Kaiser play with a Brain Control. He probably, with Mizuki in the graveyard, he'll probably be able to kill me. So that's another thing you have to remember. He searched the Zombie Master, so I'm aware of that. If I put Plague in the graveyard, I have to end with Plague removed, or he is able to abuse my own Plague. So that's another thing. So there's other decisions that can be made. In every game that you play, there's going to be a decision you make, and there may be others, of course. This is what I end up deciding to go with, just because I knew he had the Zombie Master. I wasn't going to give him the Plague. So we'll get into this. So we kill the Reaper. So I attack this wave for Gores. Okay. Oh, why did you attack the Zombie Master? That way I don't give him a bigger token, in case he has Gores here. So we just do, because it ends up being the same amount of damage. There's no reason to do the other way. So he does have Gores, and he drops it here. So I think at this point I can make the Blackwing synchro there. I don't remember his name. Where is it? Yep, there it is. The armor master. So also now I have to keep him off of Dark Arm, because does he have Dark Arm? No. So my thought is I put 3 darks in the graveyard now, kind of in a situation here. I Book of Life. I thought about this for a while, um, and I end up just Book of Life just to remove the dark. I know he has Zombie Master, so he could probably just pitch it in the graveyard anyway. But um, I probably don't need to do this. It's one of the things that actually he draws Dark Arm, so he actually draws Dark Arm, so I look like a genius for 1 second. But this was the one thing that I wasn't like really didn't want to do, but I thought to myself, if he just slams Dark Arm, I lose right here. I was, the other players, well, why did you bother attacking any of that stuff? Which is fine too. I could have just not attacked, but then he could just ram Sangan into anything he wanted anyway, and could have set up for Dad himself. So we're in a bad situation here. Let's see what he does. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if he has Dark Arm here. This play doesn't matter. Yeah. So we can take Dark Arm out of this. That doesn't matter, because he can, all of these plays are still viable without the Dark Arm here, and he knows my back row is either call or dust because he dust shooted me. So that's what 5,068, and he has a 1,300 token. It's still game. It didn't matter that I did this, because he can just bounce the back row. He can bounce every card on the field. 2 cards left in his hand. This doesn't matter. So, yeah, there are a couple different things I could have done differently there. I'm not sure it would have made much of a difference. Playing around Trap Dust Shoot, or playing around my hand, was obviously what he did. He barely played any cards the whole game. He kind of just sat back and waiting to essentially kill me. Again, I could have done maybe a different play with the whole Plague Spreader Zombie and the Zombie Master, and maybe Hadez over the Sangan, and maybe I don't have to attack at all. And he wouldn't have Plague there, but anyway, I don't think I was doing much when the fact that my hand was pretty dead and he knew every card I had. So I get to go first here. So I can allure here because I have a Gale that I can remove, but I kind of don't want to remove Gale because I have Mind Control. In case if he sets one card, maybe, or a Raikou happens to hit at the board, I can Mind Control the Raikou and then summon Gale. So I think the best play here is probably to set either Goblin Zombie or Turtle. So we just set Goblin Zombie, it's fine. So we get Nobleman. So this card evidently is becoming popular again. A lot of people don't side deck this card, but now since this tournament, I played in another like Swiss tournament. I've been getting Nobleman a lot, game 2 and 3. So it's almost like you have to just summon monsters now. At the time, at the tournament, there just was not a lot of Noblemans running around. If you look at a lot of sideboards, you just don't really see it. But like I said, he kind of just plays the same deck, and plays his side decks look. When you look at his side deck cards, you're like, what is he side decking for? But it works for him, and he has Nobleman in there. That's one card you have to worry about game 2 or 3 now because it's just getting a little bit more popular. So looking at it now, if I summon the Goblin Zombie, his hand's probably pretty dead aside that he has the fact that he has Scores again and shoot. So, but that kind of hurts. So, and I draw my 3rd turtle. That's pretty cool. And he dust shoots me again. So this is just one of those matches where first turn dust shoot is brutal. I know I went first, but I still have 6 cards. So it's essentially first turn here. Sends back my 1 playable dark, or 1 dark I can allure away, and I have a nice family of turtles sitting here. So I don't attack. Dust shoot with no monster set. I read that as Gores. There's just no reason to. I'll pass on the 1,200. Again, he knows every card in my hand, so he sets. So this to date, I actually haven't seen a Raikou yet. I know his old list, which was like from March, had Raikous in it, but I'm not sure if he plays them or not. Could make the argument to Mind Control here and pop a back row. But also, I know he sees I have the Mind Control, so I'm reading like, why would you set a Raikou knowing I have mind control, but it's kind of one of those like who's outwitting who here. You know, that high IQ play, knowing that I probably wouldn't mind control. Yeah, I don't mind control here. So ultimately, I really could care less. I have 3 turtles, so let's get him in the graveyard. And like mind controlling his Raikou to hit an MST, and that's not that great because then I give him back the Raikou and then he can just sack for a Kaya. So I don't think mind controlling there is worth it. So we just keep setting cards. He knows everything we have aside from the Wing Blast. He has the MST for it, so there we go. So his hand's really not that great this game, actually. I think he just drew the Goblin Zombie. He does have a live Chaos Sorcerer, so this whole game feels like I'm trying to play cards and just not getting anywhere. So yeah, like he has an answer so far. He Nobleman's my face down. I set a new spell, a trap. He MSTs it. You know, I summon a Pyramid Turtle. He Raikou. So I'm just playing cards, but not really accumulating any advantage. I'm not really furthering the game state. So now I draw an Allure here, Dog Monster here. So my Allure is active or alive. You can say it's worth or not worth to Allure here. I'm kind of annoyed by the fact that I've gotten Dust Shoot already and I have 3 turtles, so I'm kind of looking for something fresh here. I think I might Allure. Yeah, I do Allure here. You can argue just holding that. That's also fine. I draw 2 cards that are irrelevant right now. So this is typically Book of Life, which wouldn't be terrible if I had that right now. I think the worst card in the hand is probably Necro Godner, so we just get rid of that. So we're going to go swinging some more. Probably into Raikous. Nope, it's a Goblin Zombie. I'm not sure what he searches here. Plague. So, and he has Brain Control. So I guess we just set Goblin Zombie here. Or we don't do anything. Okay. Could have set Goblin Zombie or Pyramid Turtle last turn. That would have been fine. And a Spirit Reaper. So we could smash or mind control this here. Unlikely he's going to get through 2 turtles and a Solemn, so I don't bother. Okay, so no real zombie decks are playing this card. I know he does, and he had in the tournament months ago. Obviously, it works out because he plays Raikous. A lot of these decks don't play Raikou because the problem with Raikou and zombies is you mill divas. You play 2 divas in most of the zombie builds, and if you hit one of them, it just makes the card dead if you have one in your hand. Number 1. Number 2, if you mill both of them, then you lose a lot of explosive plays. You only have Plague. I see that Raikou is becoming more popular in the zombie build. There seems to be a new build running around. I don't know how I feel about it. I really haven't played much about it, but in theory, it doesn't seem to be that good. It's not something that you want to... It's kind of like you want to mill the zombie cards and put them in the graveyard, but you also don't want to mill the diva cards because you need them to synchro. So I probably would be okay playing Raikous because of the way I play, and I don't synchro anyway. But I really haven't tested the deck. It seems to work for him, and like I said, over the last few weeks, it seems to be more popular with the hamsters and Raikous now. Maybe it's just because of so many recruiters. The Raikous obviously really shut those down. So anyway, he summons Diva here and slams the Chaos Sorcerer. I could Solemn that, but I have a Mind Control. I have a Smash. Maybe I should just Solemn that. I was thinking about it. Now he's going to make a Dark End, which I think I probably have to Solemn this now. So you can argue if I just Solemn the Chaos Sorcerer that I would still have a Pyramid Turtle on the board. True. That's definitely a way of thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to think if that would have been... I think my thought process was I would rather just... Oh, I guess he was going to Synchro. He had the double Diva play. So yeah, I probably should just Solemn the Chaos Sorcerer and been okay with that. But now the problem is if I Solemn Chaos Sorcerer there and he Book of Life the Goblin Zombie and has double Diva on the board, I'm definitely dead because now he just Brios and kills me. I think that might have been crossed my mind that I have to be conservative with the Solemn. This card is really good when you're in a winning position and you have an established board, but it's not good at all when you're in a situation like this, because if you just Solemn one card and they have an extender, you lose. Um, so I guess I could have Solemn the Chaos Sorcerer, but then, like I said, he has Goblin's Army in the graveyard. He has one Book of Life, and he's making Brio, and I die. So um, at this point, I'm saying if he's got Book of Life, I lose. He doesn't, which is fine. So out of all of this, by not Solemn the Chaos Sorcerer, I lost a Pyramid Turtle. So here, something I could have done a little bit better here would have been to just summon. I could have summoned the Goblin Zombie. I could have mind controlled the Diva, and I could have made a level 6. But what level 6 am I going to make there? That's going to out a Spirit Reaper. I would have to use a Smashing Ground too. So I'm going to use 3 cards, and I'm going to end with a Turtle and whatever level 6 I decide. It can't be Hadez, so it could either be Brio or Goyo, and I'm going to attack. He has Gores anyway, and he has a Brain Control with Plague, and I know he has the Plague, so yeah, I'm not sure what would have been the best play here. I'm sure you can make, post down in the comments what you think would have been better. Obviously, we know his hand now. We know, hindsight's always 20/20. But I think maybe summoning Goblin Zombie, mind control the Diva, and then I could have smashed the Spirit Reaper and attack for 28. I don't think that's the right play because he's at 8,000. I'm at 4,000. He has 3 cards in hand, with I know one being a Plague. So a few things out the board. First off, he doesn't have a live Dark Arm right now because I killed the Reaper, but Brain Control, obviously, Gore screws me, and he has both of those. So I'm okay with this play when I made it. I like to play slow. I don't like to synchro much anyway, so I'm not going to synchro here. I have a +1. He's on the draw. Might have been better to just flip the Pyramid Turtle, attack the Diva, and then just maybe smash the Spirit Reaper, and I would have had the Gale in my hand with the Mind Control still, so that probably would have been a better play. So he has the Book of Life, so he draws Book of Life, of course, right? Now he does the Brio play. Yeah. Trying to think if that would have made any difference. So I'm at 4,000. He can actually just kill me here. I don't know why he doesn't. He should just remove the Mizuki, summon the Goblin Zombie, and he could brain control my Gale. He's probably worried about Gores, I'm guessing. But yeah, he definitely had game on board. So I'm thinking about the other play here. If I had just summoned the Turtle and attacked the Diva and smashed the Spirit Reaper, not much changes here in terms of the fact that Gale would be in my hand. So I'm going to lose a card here. Probably need the Mind Control. So he hits a Goblin Zombie. Alright, so we draw trash. This whole game, I just feel like I just could not play. So we could like Mind Control the Brio, discard a card to bounce Brio. That's not going well. We could summon Pyramid Turtle here and crash, grab Plague, Mind Control, and make a level 8. I think that's probably the best play. Unfortunately, we have to take damage. We'll do the 100 just to feel good about ourselves. So here, so we have to do some thinking here. In this situation, the only card, you probably have to make Thought Ruler, because Brain Control would just kill you. So let me see what I make. Dark Arm is still live, right, as of right now. He's a stack for Plague, but doesn't matter if he makes Stardust, he's just going to run over it. So, and this turn, by smashing here, this turns off Dark Arm pretty much, unless he has like Book of Life. He has to have another book of life. So we make Thought Ruler here so we don't die to brain control, which is actually smart. I don't, just got lucky there. He actually has the brain control. And we say go. So we draw a D prison. He draws and doesn't do anything. I don't believe I attack here because Gores will literally end the game if I just attack. So we don't. We're playing around Gores. We're trying to play around brain control. Problem is we're trying to play around too many cards and we don't have enough life to really do it. So he has Brain, Goblin Zombie, Pyramid Turtle. He stacks for Plague. So it's pretty obvious that he's trying to do a Goyo play here, which we actually have an answer for. So I'm okay with this. So he searches Zombie Master, which is relevant. I'm trying to think why he searches Zombie Master, because he doesn't have Plague anymore. Oh, I have Plague. Yeah. So we just deprison that. So now we're forced to make a play that we don't want to make because he has Zombie Master, and I think I've talked about it in other videos and earlier in this video. You have Plague Spreader in the graveyard, you're in trouble because he can summon Doom Kaiser. He would then get the Plague back. He could Doom Kaiser with Plague and make a Colossal here, and I don't have an answer to it. So we have to remove the Plague from our graveyard. Don't really have a choice here. I think I do this, yeah, because he has Zombie Master. So that sucks because we stack DD Crow, and then we know what we're drawing next turn, but we still don't attack because we can't force Gores. And again, he made no read about it. I just haven't been playing around it. I've been trying to play around it because it's the one card that really outs that and Brain Control. So I actually made a really good read here. Don't think it's going to matter much. Just down so much life. So we draw the DD Crow, and now he knows I'm not attacking, so he just doesn't care. He's going to keep bluffing Gores, even if he doesn't have it. So we draw a Dust Shoot. So I'm okay. I draw this card. I'm feeling pretty good because I say, well, I can Dust Shoot and pull the Gores out of his hand so I can play again and probably try to win this game. So as of right now, on my turn, he does have the Gores. He has another Nolman, which is the reason why this card is not that good against zombies, except like turn 1 and 2, because once you don't set anymore, this card's useless. So if you're thinking about side decking it, side deck it at your own risk because it's good turn 1, like it worked this game, but after that, it may not be very live. So so right now, based on his hand, I can Dust Shoot the Gores away. And then I'm in a decent position. I at least can attack, and I have a DD Crow for a Zombie Master now. And he does have Brain Control, so he could Brain Control and make a level 6, but he's gone through any of the level 6 that are really threatening to Thought Ruler. So I'm not in a bad position until he draws an answer. So he draws Caius. So now I am forced to Dust Shoot, and I will show. We're gonna Dust Shoot here. Show both. So I don't have a choice now because he has Brain Control, so he can Brain the Plague and sack for Caius, and that will kill me. I can't send back the Gores now. Now I know he has it. I have to send back the Caius because he drew it. So again, just unfortunate. A lot of the draws seem to be not going my way this game, and again, there were some plays I could have made differently and could have done a few things, but I got questions. He seems to have answers, so that's just how the game's working. And I'm trying to play out of it, but trying to make decent reads, trying to play around certain cards, and I'm just not getting any luck. So we send back the Caius, and now I just know that how am I going to deal with Gores at any point in time. With Dust Shoot, I know a lot of people like to Dust Shoot and then they see Gores and they don't send it back. I think that's wrong, in my opinion. I know, the argument is, well, you can play around it. How do you play around Gores? Like, you have to attack. So you could play the whole game where you have a guy who has 2,700 attack and a Stardust, and you just attack with the Stardust. But they're going to still drop Gores, and they're going to have a 2,500 token and a Gores token. So, like, it's not a card you can play around. They're going to drop the card. It's just a matter of how big the token's going to be. Now, usually what you do is when they have Gores, or they have Gores, you wait until you draw an out to the Gores, right? Okay, I can attack. I drew Mirror Force now. That's an out to Gores. Or I can attack. I have a Caius. But if I typically, when I dust shoot, if I see Gores, it's just one of those cards that's a headache to really play around, and you have to draw specific outs to it. I usually send it back. That's me. Obviously, every game state is different and depends on what's going on, but or what you have. But in this situation, it would have been perfect if he didn't draw Caius, but he did, so we have to send back Caius. So again, another dead card here. We're drawing heavy. We're drawing MSTs. Where we really need like Caius or traps, and we're not seeing them. I don't believe he's like played any real traps this whole game, this whole match. Played around the Dust Tornado game 1 and game 2. I don't think he's like done anything in terms of traps. So he's really just not playing cards. Like every time I make a play, he just has the answer. And sometimes those games happen. Like no matter what, they have the better hand, or they have better cards at the time, or they just happen to have cards that stop you. So right now he actually. Does he have game here? Since I might as well just keep the hand reveal. We have already seen it. He drew book, so he can just book the he can just book the thought ruler, and I know his hand, so I either negate, which is what I would, if I negate it, he brain controls. I don't have enough life to negate, or sorry, he doesn't brain control. He could brain control at that point. If he brain controls, I negate, and then he can book and nobleman. So I'm in a situation here now. He has 3 cards that actually kill this, so I really can't play. So he could just kill me here. I don't know, or yeah, as far as I know, he can. He doesn't know what my back rows are, of course, so maybe that's a reason why he doesn't. I think he's thinking about it, and he doesn't. So, at this point, I could summon Sangan, and I could attack with Sangan, and then he drops Gores, and that doesn't get me anywhere because Gores will just crash with this, and I lose. So we can't do that. This extra deck does not play Magical Android, this is one of the times I wish I had it, because if I make Android here, I'll gain 1200 a turn. But there's just no room in the extra deck, and I played the level 6 Gaia instead. It's one of those cards like you just love to have when you need it, and then most of the time you just never make it. I'm always torn if I should have it in the deck or not. I think I have Doom Kaiser and Mistworm in the deck rather than the Magical Android. Like a lot of people cut Mistworm. I think it's a staple, even though you don't make it often, because you can like make crazy return plays with it. But anyway, I make Catasta here. Guess I could have just set the Sangan, but then it gets Nobleman. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think my thought was that at some point I'm going to try to build up a board where I can attack. I think that's what I'm hoping to do here. But like I said, he could have killed me last turn. So let's see what happens here. So he books, so I have to decide if I'm going to negate or not. If I, even last turn, if I negate, I pay 1,000. It stays face up, and he just brain controls. So I don't negate. I nobleman. I knew I was dead here. Actually, it didn't matter what I did. Yeah, so it's game. So this is game because we can't stop. We don't have enough answers to it. If we don't negate the Book of Moon, it goes face down. If we, even if I don't give him that monster and leave the, what did I synchro with, the plague on the board, he can just do the exact same play, and he can just brain control the plague. So yeah, doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I don't think I played this game the best. I think there's some other moves I could have made just reviewing the tape. Definitely could have made some different plays. When I was playing in the tournament, I just felt like I just didn't get a chance to play. And this card can be one of those, when you see it first turn, you kind of get a little tilted. You got to try to, I tell myself that got to calm down and kind of focus the game. But like 2 games in a row, I get dust shooted like turn 1. It's brutal. Like I said, I could have made some different plays here or there. Probably would have changed some of the turns or how they would sequence, but I'm not sure I would have entirely won the game. Especially this last game, this here, like it was like card after card that he drew, seemed to be answers to what I had. The dust shoot play was like devastating when I saw the fact that he had the Kai's in his hand. I was like, well, not gonna win this game either. So he's a really really good player. He's a top tier zombie player in my opinion. Just kind of doesn't is not really in the spotlight as much because he doesn't play all that often online, but like, back-to-back tournaments. I believe he tops this tournament too, I believe, and he won RBET too. So he does have a different take on zombies. Not very. Not a conventional zombie deck. He's got the Light Sworn, the Rykos. I don't know if he plays Hamster or not, but he's got the Chaos Sorcerer. So it's very different. Deck's actually pretty cool. I probably should give it a whirl, see how it runs. So yeah, this is round 4. So I end up taking a loss here. So I'm in losers bracket now. I'm not sure how many more rounds I have to win the top 8, but I will get the next match out in Saturday. I believe it's against Carpath actually, he has a YouTube channel. Probably one of the best deck builders of the format in my opinion. Plays crazy stuff, tops with it. So we will get that recorded, and I'll see you all in the next one.